Hello everyone and welcome back to NeoBurgh. We are playing Transport Fever today and I want to focus on trying to minimize the station overload. So at the moment we have a fair bit of overload and that's kind of what we try to avoid. So over here we've got a fair bit of overload. Over here we've got a fair bit of overload. Over here we've got a fair bit of overload. So with that in mind, the main thing that's causing overload here is the tring line, sorry. And we currently have 4 of these flat car with side stake trains. So if we get another one, then that should help with this because there's quite a fair bit of stuff coming through. And actually these are already pretty much filled by the time they get here. So ultimately, we need more trains to shift what is already here. And then if we have a look down here, we've also got a fair bit of, if we look at the Tring one, flat car with side stakes, flat car with side stakes, flat car with side stakes. So yeah, the Tring one really needs, in fact, I'm going to put another one of these on if I can. How much are these? They are 48 million. So not cheap, not drastically expensive either, because if we look at one that's maybe been going around for a little while, these are bad examples. So here we see like it makes money most years, so it is making money on that line, and there's quite a fair bit of places where wow, look at this. Why do we have steel going the other way? Where's that steel come from? Goodness knows. So down here we don't have too much, which is nice. It may just be coming from other places. So down here would be where we can pick up some stuff with the flat car with side stakes. In fact, you know what would be quite good is if we, with the, which one's the one that takes stone up that way? It's Kesgrave number 2. If we have that deliver here, that can then deliver to not only here, but also down this way, which will then take stuff up to this bricks factory as well. So with that in mind, after Littlehampton, I would like it to go to Shildon here. And then it goes straight up to Kesgrave. And then it goes back down to here, Littlehampton. So that in its own right should make that line a little bit more powerful, and hopefully make a bit more money off of this line, because at the moment it's not necessarily moving stuff that way. In fact, if we look at this line, sometimes it makes a lot of money, sometimes it doesn't. I wonder why that is. Transport wise, only 5% is getting up here. So yeah, hopefully having a alternate way round down to here should reduce that bottleneck, because at the moment it's not really helping things. It's also affecting this line. It looks like, I mean, yeah, there's not that much going that way, but I mean, to have 5% of 10, I mean, surely that's half of 1. How does that even work? I don't know. So yeah, we just need to keep an eye on things. I think this Tring line makes up for a lot of the overload that we've got going through, so hopefully putting some extra vehicles on that line should help. We've got one here which is fairly new, and it's probably going to make a fair bit of money here because I would imagine there's going to be a fair bit of stuff that needs to come off. So we pretty much just paid for this chunk of the year, but it's already filled up. So it's filled up, and now it's on its way to Upper Southwold, so over here, where it can then drop off some stuff. And wow, there's a lot of stuff here as well. Are these lines still working? No, so we need to get rid of these because they're just costing us money at the moment, because they're now redundant. These are still working, albeit relatively. I don't know whether it's actually making that much money. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. That's interesting. So we've got oil going that way. We've got crude oil up here. I think it's mostly going to go by train. It might be worth taking the boat and removing it from this line potentially. So not coming up here, but then again, it's also sending a little bit. 35. Nothing picks up from down here other than this boat, so it might be worth keeping the boat going from here up. I guess then it can also drop off oil. We've got a fair bit of oil and fuel here, which is interesting. It's picking up from the dock, it seems, when realistically we only really want to pick up fuel, because this train won't really be able to do much more. But yeah, there is a lot of overload that we need to try and address. So I did notice there's a fair bit of overload down here with these ones. Hopefully that should start to make its way through now that we've got the two lines going through down here. And we also have the multiple options for them to use. So hopefully that will start to eke its way through. But this line, it looks like we need another oil line. We only have one, one tanker. It needs two. We don't really have the money. How much is a tanker? A tanker is 48 million. And we just about have... We have 48 million. Why is it... What? $48 million. 86. Oh, there's no depot. I see, I see. I was wondering why that wouldn't work. I was like, we do have enough money. Why you be like this? So what we can do is put one in here. Oops. My fingers don't deceive me and press the wrong button. Alright, let's do that. So considering these are circular lines, it might be worthwhile getting like a Eurodual and just doing a really big tanker car, but then again, I guess they won't fit in the station and they'll end up probably not filling that well, like not that quickly. So if we just get one of these, pop them on that line, The annoying thing is it's got to go all the way around to get to this oil. But it'll get there. That's the main thing. We should also start to see quite a bit of oil going that way from here. So that's something. It's a shame it doesn't really go the other direction, because if it did, it would be going straight up to here after this one. And that would be quite a quick way through for it. So again, we've got a fair few bits and bobs for this to pick up. Of course, it's all going down here and then it's not going anywhere, because at the moment this is overloaded by the tune of about 800. In fact, with that in mind, maybe we could try removing some of these smaller buildings and replacing them with the larger ones. So that'd be these ones. So if we just put in as many of these as we can, because of course they used to be on the other side as well, but we had to take that away. We might have to try and squeeze these in a little bit. Take out this road. So that's still connected. Yeah, so we don't even need that road, so that's something at least. We want the large side buildings. So how many can we fit in? Oh, we can still fit them there. But then we might have to go down to a smaller one, or the medium-sized building, sorry. And then that's all that we can fit there. We can't put any there. So hopefully that's at least up to, yeah. So we've gone from like 880 to 1310. So that's a decent step up. And hopefully it means that we can actually get on top of the issues here with cargo overload. So one of the main things is it's really annoying you can't expand this to see more. Or maybe if these had like little arrows so you could like minimize them, that would make it a lot easier. But anyway, I'll take off my designer cap and go back to just playing the game. So the circular interlink, there's quite a few tools here, obviously because it's right next to a tool factory. What else? We've got flat car side stakes, 200, 100, 50, so about 350 and 1. So yeah, it's taking things that direction, which makes sense because that's going towards Alford and Burgh Marsh. So there's a lot of stuff down that way. This one's actually going the opposite direction. So that's got coal, ore, and grain. And then going that way, we've only got like a little bit of stuff. That's quite interesting. Okay. So I think the main thing that we need on this one is the flat car side stakes going that way. Actually, we already have 4. We already have 4 on that line. That's pretty nuts. Because these are very big trains. They have a capacity of, it'll say somewhere down here. Who knew? The logs load at 64 times versus, say, 16 for steel, 24 for planks. Construction materials 12. I wonder why there's such a difference. But yeah, about 500 I think is the capacity of these. So whereabouts are these trains? So 74 is down here at Alford and Burglemarsh. 95 is over here. It's not got that much stuff on it, which is interesting. 136 is up, coming towards the Helsham Horn interlink, and then 137. Okay, so these are actually really well spread out because they're all in the four corners of the map at the moment. So if we go back to number 136, it's already pretty full, and the annoying thing is you can't see where any of this cargo is going. So we don't really know where it's taking stuff, but we know that it does have cargo on it. Now, the only problem is these trains are about 85 million each. So that's a fair bit of money, a fair whack ton of money to spend on a train. But it would mean that we would actually start to shift some of the stuff that's on here to where it needs to go. So if we just check this one, so number 136, it's picked up 223 logs, 84 planks, 80 bricks, and 60 steel. So it's fairly filled up. Again, just like, I don't know, some sort of percentage as to how filled up they are would be pretty useful. Whereas 95, on the other hand, over here, has not picked up that much at all. So it'll be interesting to see how much it can take from here, or whether it drops anything off as well. That'd be quite good to know. So it's just coming in to stop. Is it gonna... Still blocks the exit, the pass through there, which is pretty insane. It's quite a big train. And then it's going through. I think it did drop off some stuff. It's picked up some steel. It's picked up some planks, I think. Here's one of those trains, the tank car trains. It's just unloaded a whole load of crude oil. That's all gone this way. It's actually taken a fair amount. It looks like these are starting to unload a little bit, which is good. Looks like we got a lot of crude oil, not much oil. Guess the oil would be going up to the plastic factory. It might be quite good here to do like a little line from maybe these two oil refineries, or three, considering there's three, and dropping it off at the, like doing a little road line to drop it off, just because it might cut down on the amount of travel that these have to do. It might do, it might not. if we look up here, we've got quite a bit of oil, but then again, these lines seem to be coping quite well. It looks like there's 2 of these on there already. That line's definitely making a fair bit of money. So maybe when we have a little bit of money again, it'd be worthwhile taking that to where it's needed. How long are these waiting to fill up? 3 minutes. Let's cut that way down, because it looks like we've got steel down here waiting. Does this line actually make money? It does actually. That's pretty interesting. And this line, how's this one doing? It's getting 57% of what it needs to where it needs to. Where's its main consumers? So only 18% is getting down here. That kind of makes sense because it's kind of the other side of the map. But this is the sort of thing that we need to improve the interlinks for. So it looks like we got a fair bit of grain on this line. Why are these? Oh, there's a bit of stone there. I see. So maybe we need to again put some more buildings on these. So if we just take this out, and then we can rebuild it bigger and better. So this should give it a bit more longevity, and we don't have enough money to do that. That sucks. Let's hope if we no. We're gonna lose that spot. To be honest, I don't know why we're not just taking it straight down to where the grain would need it anyway. Okay, it looks like money's slowly coming back in. We just need to... I just jinxed it, didn't I? What's going on? All of a sudden, we're not really making that much. Is there some particular line that's costing us a fair amount? Helsham Horn line. Right, while we've got a little bit of money, I'm just gonna sort this out, because otherwise it will cease to function. So we'll give it a bit more space by building up the cargo buildings, and then that way this has a little bit more flexibility. That being said, this one's probably not the main one to do this on. Probably like Burgh Marsh or Alford would be better to deal with. So I'll just connect that in. That way this is connected in. What I would quite like to do is... we have a grain delivery from that one. Do we have a grain delivery from this one up here? No, we don't. Maybe we could just culminate these two into one line. So if I have these go onto this line, get rid of this other one, because it was kind of silly anyway, it wasn't necessarily taking these to the right place. So yeah, so after that, comes up here, and it can go to number 2 as well. We would like it to fill up, And we want it to specifically pick up grain because it might actually accidentally pick up something else somehow. You never know. And then we literally just want it to drop off there. The good news about that is because it's right next to the train station, it could literally just drop it off and put it on the train. It doesn't have to be used here. So if we just check that line again, why is that using number 2 on the way through here? So I kind of want to just see this line. So if we change that one to number 1, I think it is literally just going around in circles there. Change that one to number 1. I'm trying to remove that turnaround. There we go, that seems to have worked. Yeah, looks like everything's just coming straight up here and going through. It might even be best for Ilkley if we had like a cut through down to here, because then it could avoid the residential area. Bearing in mind we don't have that much money, I'm not that keen on doing that right now. However, at least having these 2 lines culminate, it should reduce some of the cost, hopefully. While we're here, let's just double check. Right, yeah, so we could put a lot more bigger buildings on this one, for example. And considering it's almost overflowing, that'd probably be quite a good thing to do. So while it may look a little bit untidier, the sheer amount of cargo that's going through here on a daily basis means that we need to make sure that there is enough space. So if we put these in, hopefully they'll fit. If they don't, then we can redraw this road. That's absolutely fine. I'd rather we have extra cargo space on this particular station rather than not, because ultimately if that cargo overflows, we're losing it, which just costs us money. It just means that we lose out on potential trade, which is obviously not a great thing. So we'll put these in, and then that should bump up the amount of cargo space on this particular line. We don't want this to, we almost just want it to be straight from here down. If we can keep it straight and flat, then maybe connect that in there. Straight and flat the other way as well. And connect that in there. Then hopefully that will be a little bit more efficient for that line, like by a tiny amount. This line even. Is this even moving everything to where it needs to go? 97%. Is that just because it's stuck here? I'm guessing that's why. I'm tempted to do the same on the other side, but at the same time, that's bumped it up to 1800, which is quite a lot of cargo. Let's check this other one. So, oh, it already looks a bit nasty with having different types. So 1800 is how much we've got. Let's just clean this up a little bit. So if we take out these small and mediums, I don't know whether we can just do large, whether it will fit perfectly, or whether it will, yeah, it's slightly off. so we can rectify that. Hopefully this will reduce a lot of the cargo going missing. That's the hope, at least. So let's try removing both sides. Ah, collision. Still collision. Right, okay. There we go. Let's see how this does. What even was this? Coal and ore. Where's it? Oh, got a... Oh, is that from over here? I see. And this one comes down to here? What? Let's try putting that back in. There we go. So, what is this line even doing? It's picking up here. It's dropping it off there. It's then picking up from here. Dropping off there. Why? That's just causing us more... Yeah, we should really drop it off down here. Or maybe even try and drop it off at this side. Like if we had a more direct route, that might work quite well. Well, let's just try from here. It's a little bit sloppy, but hey ho. So if we remove the other one, stop 8, and just ask you to do number 7 here, that actually works quite well. And it avoids the city quite well as well. Might be worth doing a little road through here. Just remember to remove the traffic lights. They're not really needed here. Cool. Okay, I'm quite happy with that improvement. And hopefully this will now have a lot more space. 2300. It's already pretty full. Let's just do the same on the other side. It's awkward. If it was off by 1, it would have been perfect for us to just fill these up. But these are going to be the busiest train stations in the map, really. Other than maybe the Holborn one, or maybe... Oh, what's it called? It's not Stamford. Why do I keep thinking it's Stamford? Oops. This game needs a Control Z, like, desperately. Okay, That is now at 2,800. That is huge amounts of capacity. Hopefully, that will be all we really need. I'm tempted to try and hook up this, but at the same time, we have so much already going on with sawmills and stuff. Is there anything else that's spawned out this way that we haven't hooked up? We got the machines factory there, which, to be fair, we could quite easily hook up here, maybe. This is already pretty much going over it anyway. And then we can remove this road. We don't need that little shortcut there. I think that was there when we had the train tunnel there. We've still got this overpass. So yeah, we could hook that in if we really wanted to. I think for now it might be best to just not worry about it too much, just because it's more money. And also we don't really have, the only things that go out this way are gondolas and tank cars. We would have to set up flat cars and my mind's just gone blank. Box cars, there we go, to hook that in. So those should now no longer be overflowing, so that's good. Let's just check. This one might be pretty busy. Yeah, it's only just overflowing. Let's try and do the same down here. There definitely should be an easier way of filling these with a certain thing. Like, even if you had to drag, like hold down and drag or something to tell it how many you want it to fill up, that would be quite a good way of doing it, actually. Because this is a little bit painful. Right, so we want to fill in from like there, back down here, and then same on the other side. So if we remove these other bits, we should be able to fill that gap with these pretty easily. And then that's like the giga terminal. Like, that's as much capacity as it could possibly have. 2,800. It's huge, absolutely huge, and completely ridiculous, but it does what it needs to. I don't think we'll be able to do this one because we've already got stuff on the other side, and we've already filled it in as much as we can, so 1,300's not a bad amount. Over here, that's pretty overflowing, and to be fair, it's not got much capacity anyway. To be fair, if we connected in the string line here, because it already goes through this way, that could potentially be quite a good little connection, because, or maybe even up here, like connect the string line into this one, because this one's already longer than it needs to be. I mean, look at this tiny train in this massive station. It just looks ridiculous. It's literally just that long to connect to both of these so that we can connect them both up. Same with this one down here. I don't know. But yeah, we need to put in some extra space. So what I might just do is just fill it from the sides here, because then we know that will fill down to the large, like, main building. So we'll give that a try. That's bumped it up a bit. How's this one over here doing? It's not too bad, but probably could do with a bit more space. Let's do like 3 on each corner. So that's bumped it up a bit. This one's already pretty well sorted out, although it's already pretty full. That's pretty nuts. What is it? Struggling to take coal. So we do have coal from here. So I could see why that is causing a bit of an issue. These don't need that many. We can get rid of some of these. Because when you have too many vehicles on a line, it just ends up costing you money. There we go. What's that down to? 3, 4, 5. That should be plenty. Okay. We got coal on this side as well. This one's gonna be pretty overloaded. Oh, well, slap me and call me silly. It's not overloaded actually. I'm quite surprised at that. I thought it would be. Maybe we should just try and give it some extra capacity just in case. Can we fit like a medium here? No? Like a small? I mean, the small literally only gives you 10. It's kind of pointless. But that should bump it up to at least like a bit more. Over here, this one's pretty busy. And it's pretty overloaded as well. So I'm going to do the same over here, try and build it in from the outside. So I did 7 on that side. So if we do 7 on this side, 5, 6, 7, then that's pretty evenly distributed. Not that it really makes a difference, it's more just about how it looks. I mean, to be fair, these I think are the mediums because these already look larger than that. So we could probably rework this road quite easily and build these up. But that's given it a little bit more leeway. Enough at least to do what's needed. How about these ones over here? Yes, it needs more, but I don't know how much cargo actually comes through this way. I'm slightly worried that we're going to put this stuff in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 6 on that one, 6 on that one. This one's not actually overloaded, which is pretty nuts. I'm going to put some extra on it just to give it a bit of breathing room. So that bumps up to 480 capacity. And then we're almost back to where we started. I mean, this one's not in use at the moment, but it will be when it connects into Lowton and things. Let's just double check this one because this one is probably going to be quite busy. Yeah, it's already overloaded. So we could just probably add... Is it more efficient to put one of these down or two of these down? Is that roughly how much space it takes up? Let's try and measure it. So that's one of these. That's 80 capacity. So if we just put one of these down and then remove that quickly, can we fit two of these in that space? We can. And that's 120 capacity. So it might be better to just fit these large side buildings in rather than having a main building in the middle. But it does look a little bit nicer with the main building in the middle, I've got to say. Is that the middle? Is that slightly off? I think that's the middle. I'm going to go with that as the middle. I hope for the best. So I think we will have just a main building in the middle anyway. But it is interesting to know that the side buildings on their own would provide more capacity. So that's bumped it up to 1500. So it's about halfway full. The additional cargo, the shared capacity space. So hopefully, if we can keep this moving, it looks like it's mostly the Tring line. So hopefully, with those extra vehicles that we put onto the Tring line, it may cut this down a little bit. What's mostly on the Tring line as well? Where's the Tring line? Tring line. We got a fair bit of steel. Oh wow! So this is going to Lower Shildon. You got steel, planks. You got bricks going that way. You got machines, tools. Oh, but then again, those aren't that many. A fair few goods going to Lower Shildon, Coulsdon, and Alford. Huh, interesting. So it looks like they're coming down from here and then going across, which is kind of perfect. That's exactly what we want from it. How about this one over here? Oh yeah, this one has plenty of capacity. That's good. So we don't have to worry about this one. That side of things looks a bit full. Why is it? Ah, it's because it's taking stuff up here, isn't it? Yes, of course. Mind you, that gondola line is so long and it only has one train on it. I think we do need to put another train on it at some point. Just because literally the frequency that it's going through these must be so like 34 minutes. It's so high. So yeah, we do need to probably address that really. But yeah, I think what I will do is leave this one here. We've done a fair amount and I'm quite happy with how things are going. Let me know what you think with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it, let me know with a comment. Hopefully next time we won't just be putting storage on stations, but I mean, it helps make sure that there's a bit of a buffer with how much these can actually take. And to be honest with you, they're getting pretty full. I mean, look at all this cargo that's on this one. It's pretty nuts. We need to try and move it for the Tring line, but the Tring line is so long and it goes to so many different places. It's a bit crazy, really. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Bye bye.